What's going on, Axie gang? Elijah here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. So this is going to be for anybody interested in finding good deals in the marketplace in Axie Infinity. It's for anyone new to the game who's wondering what the heck is going on. I know it's a lot of information to try to process when you're just stepping in for the first time. So I'm going to try to break down some fundamentals when looking for Axie and browsing the marketplace that's really going to help you navigate on your Axie Infinity journey. If you're new to the channel, I'm an Axie Infinity fanatic. It's my favorite project in cryptocurrency. I'm battling in the top 50 in terms of the player pool, so I'm very competitive. And yeah, all my content on this channel is Axie Infinity related, so if you're into that, make sure that you subscribe and turn on post notifications. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. I'm going to be discussing what I think are the best floor Axies to purchase amongst the plant, reptile, aquatic, bird, and beast classes. The reason I'm going to highlight these in this video is it's intended for people who are relatively new to the game, and these are the easiest ones to just pick up and jump into and start having a lot of fun and some success with straight out of the gate. They're also core essential classes that are just going to be great to have as a base layer. They're going to be versatile. You'll be able to mix and match them with whatever you collect in the future. So that'll be the focus of this video. But to get things started, we're going to head over to marketplace.axieinfinity.com. You can always just do a Google search to figure out where that is. It'll be the first one that pops up. Click it, but make sure you double check the URL that you're always on the place that you need to be, which is this address, marketplace.axieinfinity.com. And once we're here, it is a bit overwhelming at first. There's a lot going on. You got Axie, land, item, bundle, but we're going to focus on Axies, which are the core ingredient into starting the game. You're going to need 3 of them to begin. And so step 1 is just going to be to click on Marketplace up here in the upper left-hand corner. Now we're at the floor Axie page. These are the cheapest Axies that you can buy in the game. This is the front page. That's the first thing you're going to see. I'm going to go ahead and click on one of these, just a random one. And what we can see here is that all of its body parts are just sort of all over the place. This one has body parts from 3 different class types. Its cards are mangled and disjointed. It's got 2 zero-cost cards, which is always kind of a no-no when you're playing this game. And that's a lot of what you're going to find on the straight-up floor page. So what you don't want to do is say, okay, I'm going to try this game out and just go buy the cheapest thing available, because it's just not going to get you very far. For a little bit more money, you can get a lot more bang for your buck. You'll see some top players mixing breeds and doing some interesting things, but they're not going to look like any of these Axies. They're going to be very well thought out. And so what we want to do is look over here where we can start filtering out Axies. Basically, any Axie you're going to want to buy is going to be a 6 out of 6 on the pureness. So now that's going to filter out anything that's mumbled and jumbled. If I click this beast, for example, we'll see that all of its body parts are in sync. They're all beast parts, and that's just going to give all of his cards a little bit more synergy. It doesn't mean that every pure Axie you come across is going to be phenomenal. You still need to have discernment in terms of what you're selecting, but it's definitely more of the place you want to be looking than going on the lower scale of pure Axies. For the purpose of this video, what I decided to do is select what I think are the best floor Axies amongst the plant, beast, aquatic, bird, and reptile classes. I'm going to start with plant because this is an essential one. You're going to need a plant. And my best recommendation here is this guy. It's $155, 0.09 Ethereum. And I gotta say to you, before we get started on the rest of the selections, that even though this might seem like a lot, you could shell out, $400, $500 for your initial starting team. You have to remember that this is an investment. These are collectibles. The floor price of Axies have only increased over time. We're also at an interesting point where gas fees are high, prices are maybe a little bit inflated, Ethereum keeps rising, and the team is working on scaling solutions. Ronin is something that's going to be coming out phase 2, where it's much easier to play the game and to try it for free. Sure, you can wait on the sidelines and just be patient and not play the game, but I honestly believe that the amount of fun that you're going to have, the investment opportunity that's there to go ahead and claim some Axies right now before mass adoption, and also the SLP that you're going to be earning makes it completely worth it. If you're not familiar with SLP, it's a small love potion. It's the lifeblood of the Axie Infinity ecosystem. It's used to breed Axies and make them reproduce. And you earn some for every time you win an arena game. You earn some in adventure mode for completing quests. There's the daily quest, which you'll earn 50 SLP a day by completing. And over time, that stacks up. I've got about 12,000 sitting in my inventory right now. That's probably worth close to $1,000 at this point. This is just over a few months. So even though you shell out a little bit of money in the beginning, you will earn back that investment just on SLP alone. So keep that all in mind when you're thinking about getting involved. Okay, so back to the plant selection. Let's go ahead and look at this. Now you might want to take out a pen and write down these abilities so that you can go on the marketplace and search for something exactly like this. And what we have here is going to be Pumpkin. This is going to give us a bunch of shield early in the game, help keep us alive, draw cards, and just get as much value out of our tank as we can. Serious, you can steal an energy from your opponent. Also, important throughout any stage of the game, but early can give you first movers advantage and help you gain some momentum. Cactus is just doing a bunch of damage, 120% if you attack last, which is usually the case because plants are the slowest class. And then Carrot is going to do some damage, give you some shield, and also give you a reimbursement when your shield breaks. You gain an energy back, which also just helps you stay ahead of the curve. A phenomenal plant. A good price on it right now at $155. This is definitely my top selection for somebody who's just looking to start out and have a really good tank up front. Before we move on to the next class, I just want to highlight for anyone new how you can search for abilities, right? So if we wanted to find all the Axies that have exactly these same cards, we'd go back to the filter page. We would select plant, parts, and as I said, you can jot down these abilities and you go to the filter. We would search for Pumpkin, there it is, October Treat. Serious is Veg Bite. We're going to look for Prickly Trap, that is the damage ability, and then Carrots. So what'll come up are all the Axies that you can get with those cards. The one that I've selected, $155, is the absolute floor price of that. It's the best deal you can get. So remember this whenever you're looking to purchase an Axie. If you were to go to the marketplace and just start looking for pure birds, let's say that you're looking for one, you run into birds all the time in the arena, you want to find one that's similar to the opponent you keep facing because you think, oh, that's something I would like to try out. If you just start going around looking and selecting them, and you think, okay, oh yeah, this is what I want. I want these abilities because they seem good when I face them in arena. And you say $170 and you buy it, you might be overpaying for this Axie. The better option is to look at the card, say, yes, I want these, go back and do the search and find the most affordable one. Sure, there's some nuanced things like the breed count. If it's a lower breed count, it'll have a little higher value. But if you're just looking to start and play and collect, get the best price that you can and don't overpay for Axies. All right, moving on to the Reptile class. This is what we've selected here. Now, I envision this guy being a great midliner. He's going to protect our backliner, which is going to be our closer and the one that's doing most likely the most damage. And we want this guy in the middle with some great durability, some damage, and some nice utility with these cards. We have Ivory Chop, tons of shield, nice damage, and this is going to draw a card when our shield breaks, which, in the mid game you can be running low on cards, and if you're picking up new ones and heading into the end game for your backliner, that can be really valuable. Critical Escape's going to reduce damage you take, just make you a brick wall. Chomp's going to stun your opponent and make them miss their next attack. And Surprise Invasion does 130% damage to faster Axies, which is usually the case because reptiles are also quite slow. So when you're hitting a bird, an Aqua, sometimes when you're hitting a beast, you're going to do 130% more damage. And these just all work really nicely together. This is my top pick for reptiles. Now, all these Axies that I've selected are on the front page of that class. So if you went to Reptile, go to 6 Pureness. I'm not picking anything further back than the front page. So I consider these all floor Axies. This particular one I just showed you is $172, which is about 60 more bucks than the absolute floor. But for that extra $60, you're just getting a much better Axie with way more playability than this guy here. So again, I tried my very best here to select the best value, and in my opinion, it is this one as far as reptiles go on the front page. Next up, we've got a bird, and I gotta admit, I don't play the bird class all that much. They're not exactly my favorite. I find them to be just so vulnerable and susceptible to backdoor attacks, and it is something I'd like to experiment more with in the future, and there's definitely a place for them. All that being said, if I was to select a floor bird, this would be the one. I think it's really cool. I'm not going with the backdoor option, which would be Dark Swoop. I'm just going for pure damage. I would be looking to couple this with maybe a Beast midliner and just be trying to smash through my opponent. I think at 155, if you can find one that has all-out shot, that's awesome. This costs 0 energy, and the more I think about bird classes, the more I just think this is almost essential card. Bird is like a kamikaze class almost, right? You want to get as much damage as you possibly can, and when you're in a heads-up situation in the end game, you're usually going first, and you're trying to close it out in one combo because you can't really survive more than a round in the end game versus pretty much any class. So your HP doesn't really matter that much, and if you can navigate how to use all-out shot throughout the mid and late game, I think you can get an amazing value with it, and I would love to experiment with a bird like this, and that's definitely my selection. Next up, we've got the Beast class, and at the floor of $146, you're going to find tons of these, right? This is going to be the Rimp Beast. They're just flooded all over the front page. You know, the price keeps rising, but these all are the same exact build. So I would get the most affordable one sitting here at 146. It is going to give you a bunch of damage with Ronin. You get a guaranteed critical strike when you combine it with 2 cards, and that's very easy to do when one of them costs 0 energy. You're also just going to be so stocked on energy throughout the game, you're never going to have to worry about running dry. You can gain a momentum advantage by destroying one of your opponent's energy every time you play Goda, and it's just a great one to chew through tanks up front. So I'd go this route. If it's in your budget to go ahead and pay a little bit more, I would really recommend going for, you know, the 50, 60 extra dollars and getting the damage version, which is just going to smash faces. You get Nutcrack and Nut Throw. This is going to do 165 damage to tanks, reptiles, and dusks when they're combined together. So if you're putting a Ronin and 2 Nutcracker cards together and then the Ivory to gain the energy, you can just chew through your opponent, especially the frontliner. So if you can, go ahead and pick that up. If you're trying to conserve some money, this'll be nice as well as a starting point. So just keep that in mind. And last but not least, we'll look at the Aqua class. Now, again, kind of all over the front page, you will find this specific Aqua. It's very popular and very strong. And I think for $137, you cannot go wrong. You got kind of the classic abilities here, just high damage across the board. This interacts very well with every class. Even reptiles, where you're at a 15% damage disadvantage, you're going to be able to boost your attacks by playing Fishhook. You attack them, and then your following blow will deal extra damage. So it's just a great pickup. It's fairly straightforward. You get damage bonuses. This is going to prevent people from going into last stand. So you can really put together some very aggressive builds with a fish like this, and this is certainly my top pick. Okay, so those are my choices, and I'm really happy with what we selected here. Finally, I want to say what I would do if I had to pick 3. What combination would I choose to start out with? And I'm a little bit torn, but I think I would go with this Reptile here for my midliner. Obviously, the tank is the route that I'll go for the front, and I would pick this Damage Beast for my backliner, keep him safe with my Reptile protecting. Sure, you can have some backdoor attacks coming after you, but then you just need to be prepared to play your cards fairly quickly and get value out of the beast. If it's a backdoor that's attacking the fastest target, these two have the same speed, so it actually will attack your beefy Reptile, which isn't going to die to really any backdoor attack. So that's something to bear in mind. It's actually quite a nice pairing. My second choice would, of course, be the same plant up front. I would actually switch some things around and also still get this beast and put him at the midline and get the Aqua here in the back. So this is just going to chew through opponents. Very strong build as well. Now your beast isn't your closer. You're going to be looking to get max value, you know, around round 2 or 3, hopefully putting on a nice combination and getting rid of his tank. And your Aqua can just plow through beasts. It can, you know, 4-card combo kill other Aquas, and it's just it's a great 1-2 punch to also experiment with. So now for the fun part, I'm going to go ahead and select a team that is really, really similar. I might not have these exact same Axies, but I'm going to pick some ones that are just as close as I could get in terms of my inventory, and see how they play out in the arena. So this is going to be the one that I listed as the top pick. It's going to be the plant with Prickly Trap up front, the Reptile at mid, and the damage beast, which is the exact same beast as the one that I selected on the marketplace. So let's go ahead and jump into a game. Okay, don't recognize this opponent, but we're up against a plant. Looks very similar to what we have. He has October, so this is actually the exact thing that I recommended buying. This one that I have has Aqua stock, which gains energy when struck by an aquatic. He does have an aquatic, so that might come in handy for us this game. His midliner is a beast with the energy steal. Very high damage beast here. We got to be mindful of that. And to start things off, I think I'll go ahead and play Carrot and Prickly and start putting some damage on his frontliner. So Beast is going to go ahead and come right after us with 3 cards. He's going to get one of his energy back here. So he spent all 3 of his energy. He gets 1 back. So he'll have 3 going into the next round. So will we. So fairly even at this point. There's that beast combo that we were talking about getting. Now it's not as vital to play it quickly since our beast is in the back line and he's less vulnerable than he would be at the midline position. That being said, because I already put some hurt on his tank, I'm going to go ahead and try and close him out with Ronin, Ivory, and a Nutcracker card. It's tempting to play... You know what? I'm going to play 2 Ronins, get the extra energy, and just guarantee the kill on this plant. I'm just going to do that here. He does play the shield, so I might have gotten him without the 2 Ronins, but now I'm definitely going to get him, which is great. Move him out of the way. The beast goes for the double Nutcrack to finish off my plant as well. Again, he's going to have 3 energy going into this round, so we have a slight energy advantage. Now I've got my Reptile here to just be a pain in the ass. He's going to be very hard to kill. So I have Kataro. It gives me an energy if I hit a faster Axie. Unfortunately, his beast is slower than me, so I won't get that bonus. If I was hitting his Aqua, I would, but that's okay. Now, for this round, my beast is going to fare better hitting his beast than his Aqua. So I want to get rid of him as fast as possible so I can have a chance to... let me just go ahead and make my moves first. So I'm playing all this 4-card combination here. It might be a bit of an overkill, but I did want to play Critical Escape, which reduces the damage that my Reptile takes by 15% in case he came at me with the Aqua. But essentially what I wanted was to get rid of the beast so that I could get max value with my Reptile versus his Aqua, as Reptiles have quite an advantage over Aquas. And I feel like I'm going to be able to do that. So now I'm going to play... So now I think what I'll do is play... I'm going to play double Kataro, right? And that'll set me up with 4 energy next round. And if I get the right combination of beast cards, right, I can just play those and finish the game. So that's going to be what I try to do here. I'm going to survive this for sure. So that's not, I don't have to worry about that. I am going to need to close this out with a beast combo, so I'm hoping to get a really nice draw on the next round. It's not quite what we wanted, but I actually, this won't kill his Aqua, so I'm not going to play it. I'm actually going to try to get one more round out of my Reptile. Now, obviously, if he lives here, we're going to win. I think he probably has enough energy to it's going to be hard. It's going to be close because I do have critical. But yeah, I mean, he's going to go first next round, and it's so easy to kill beasts that I can't pass. I have to try to get some more value here, and so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, he only plays 3 damage cards, so I'm pretty sure we're going to live through this just by a hair. But this is going to give us the win on the game, which is going to be a pretty sweet way to do it. So yeah, we're just going to chomp right through his Aqua, just put a ton of damage on. And he's going to have to spend one more round to kill my Reptile, but it's going to be a little too late for him because I get to play these beast cards happily and finish off his Aqua. As you can see, I went the high damage route. I went with Ronin and 2 damage cards. I don't need this extra energy at this point. This is my make or break round. So even though he healed up a little bit there, it's not going to matter. I'm still going to be able to get it done. And there we go. Feels good to win. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this video up. Some final thoughts are that you can see I earned 11 SLP there. Remember that stacks up. I know it's a bit of an investment to start out playing the game, but it is truly one of the best games I've ever played. It's honestly my favorite game right now by a long shot, and I don't see that changing. If you can scrape together the money, I don't think you'll regret it. And if you're not into it, you can always resell your Axies to get your money back, and that's just amazing. It's so different from playing a centralized game like Hearthstone or something where you don't truly own the asset. So really, really cool stuff there. If you absolutely cannot purchase the Axies, but you're still interested in the game, there is the scholarship option, which is a way for people who own a lot of Axies to supply them to you, kind of coach you a little bit as well sometimes, and you'll split the small love potion profits that you earn. It's sometimes in the ballpark of a 60-40 split. And you can head over to the Axie Infinity Discord. There is a specific section around scholarships where you can talk to people there and see what's available. I have a friend who runs one, and I just want to say that things he's looking for, people who stick around, are genuinely interested in the game, who aren't like demanding in the way that they ask. They have a really nice, they have a more of a polite tone to their approach. So definitely check that out. My advice there is don't go into general and start spamming about scholarships, because that just looks bad. I mean, not to really blast this dude, but this is kind of what I'm saying not to do. It's not going to help your case. Go to the scholarship room and talk to people there. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up there. I hope this video was useful. I'll be making many more Axie videos in the future. I cover gameplay, what's on the horizon as far as news, and things like this that can be useful guides for those out there looking to learn. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.